Hello and welcome to Insights in Action with Orange 142, where we interview agency leaders and business owners to uncover the journeys, strategies, and insights that drive their success. At Orange 142, we're all about transforming brand stories into impactful digital experiences through innovative media and marketing solutions. And today I'm very lucky to be joined by Kristina Snyder of Snyder. How's it going, Kristina?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for being on. And Christina, just to start this off, I'd love to just learn a little bit more about you and your background and a little bit more about Snyder.
Snyder is an agency that represents artists, and we also do creative production projects for our clients. And so we represent artists like illustrators, animators, makers in this space for advertising, design, client direct, editorial publishing. So anything that you might see an illustration or an animation at a bank, or you might see a book cover. That's what we do. And we work with around 45, around 50 artists around the world. We're based in the US and we also have an office in the UK. And that's about it. We're women owned. I founded the company a long time ago. It's been through iterations, but this last iteration was founded in 2013. And we are super proud to do what we do, try to forward creative arts in the commercial space and support our artists and help them reach their goals. Yeah.
So you built an agency representing 46 artists worldwide. And what was the initial spark that made you believe that this concept could work?
That's interesting. I have a concept that I apply to myself, and that is just a version of fake it till you make it. I did not know that I could do this, but I just did it. It started for me in the beginning of the aughts, like in 2002, when I actually worked representing photographers for about 10 years. And previous to that, I was a photo editor in New York City with many national magazines, always freelancing. So I started out as a photography rep, and then I segued into illustration because I felt it was an interesting time. In 2009, I felt that photography was on the way out as a super creative medium, which can be debated, but for me anyway, and working with an artist that creates from their mind was more interesting to me. So I don't really know why I thought I could do this, but I was willing to try. And my own concept is parlay what you have. I just did it. And it's been really an amazing journey for me. I wish I could have learned a bit more about the industry before I jumped in, but I didn't. And here I am. It's
Yeah.
been a really long time. And I must say that it's been amazing to me. It's really fantastic.
It's really interesting. You're, I think, one of the few people out there that's able to do that, right? I think that takes a lot of courage to be just like, hey, I don't have all the answers, but I know what the next step is, and I'm just going to take that next step. I think a lot of people, just because of the amount of information that's available today, whether it's starting a business or doing whatever, will fall into this like analysis paralysis. Like, I have to make sure that everything is perfect before I take the first step. But you naturally did this, which I don't think you see. It's this trait that you don't see every day that, like, hey, I don't have all the answers. I'm just going to do what I know.
Yeah, I think so. That's always been my thing, I think. I've done a lot of soul searching, and I even started writing about this. How did this come about? But I think the alternative for me was just to go work for somebody else. And that wasn't really, I've never really honestly done that. I usually say I've never had a job. I could never have a job because this is all I know.
Yeah.
But it also, the story is also connected to the fact that I married somebody who was an artist, and my young years were spent in the East Village in New York among artists, musicians, actors, people that did art. And so it fostered me.
Yeah. And you said something really interesting. You said you parlay what you have,
Yeah.
specifically parlay your creativity, which I know is a motto that you guys live by over at Snyder. What exactly does that mean? And what does that look like in the day to day?
Yeah. So what that means to me is that I didn't know a lot, but I learned a lot. I soaked everything up, and that's sort of soaking everything up that you can, using every contact that you come across, and also being super brave and not thinking, oh my gosh, this is going to fail. I think parlay that's what parlay means to me. And for the company, it's a company reflects from the top down, I believe. So it reflects my values and what I believe in, I think we are known as a company to take chances on artists that are may not be middle of the road. I hesitate to use the term normal, but they're a little bit like sometimes left of center, and that's has become our brand. Because when you come to Snyder and you look at our artists on the site, you're going to discover something amazing and really cool. You're not going to have the run of the mill artists in every on every platform. I think that's what we're really happy about. Whatever category we work with, it's all about excellence. So you can do anything, but if you're excellent, we want to hear from you and work with you. That's how we see it. And I think that's actually a lot different from many other agencies out there.
I really that just focusing on excellence because it always ends up to be a much better end product for the client, right? Is when you can focus on just finding the people that you see something special in. So it seems like you guys have found that at Snyder, right?
Yeah, and it also excellence is a necessity working with
Yeah.
clients and marketing, because if you market the right way and you provide excellent service every time there's a contact with a client, it should be excellence. And if you do, that's something that really sticks. That really, you remember that. I remember that with brands, interactions, whether it be a plumber or a carpenter or somebody in the service industry. So I think that's incredibly powerful to
Yeah.
just be very nice, helpful, and go beyond
Yeah.
what's expected. Yeah.
And it's funny. I think we went through this long period. And I'm not sure what your like internal structure looks like, if whether or not you have people that are hired on as artists or you work or you partner with them or not. But there was just like long, like this. The thinking is, I want to try to get people like to bring onto my team for as cheap as possible, and that always ends up costing you more money every single time
Yeah.
because it ends up not being great for the client. You have to do a bunch of work, and if I would have just hired somebody who did embody excellence, it would have been like this. But even if I paid a little bit more in the short term to make sure that happens, it like this, I would have way less headaches. And so I hope that more and more people are starting to hopefully think your way of no, let's
Mm.
really focus on excellence, excellence in the people that we bring onto the team, excellence in the work that we do, and excellence in how we communicate with our clients.
And so how do you do that? I
Mm.
believe you should hire people that know more than you and do what you can't do. Like I have a finance team, obviously. We have a researcher that does collects data for us. We have a back end person for the website, and all of those people do things that I can't do. I can't, and I don't want to. That's not what I'm here for, really. So I think you, as a business owner, you have to think like that. Hire people that are amazing, excellent at what you don't do or don't want to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
it's very marketing. It's 101. It's very basic, but yeah,
Yeah.
still
But people always forget
important.
the basics, right? Yeah, that's great. So I want to change gears here really quick and I want to talk about uncertainty. What does marketing look like right now in such a volatile economic and creative landscape?
I think our formula has always been the same. Provide really interesting things to look at. That's what we do. We are a marketing agency of sorts, even though we do a lot more than a traditional marketing agency. We handhold, we produce, we research, we try to come up with the best clients for our artists. But marketing is basically what we do. And so what that looks like for us is don't pay attention to the bad times out there. Just keep marketing, do catch ups with old clients on a regular basis, but also incorporate new clients, cold contacts in a nice and respectful way. So we have a couple of methods. We have a 3-4 step program doing that. And I think it's also really important to ask for personal meetings in the sense of what we're doing, like a Zoom meeting, to just have a capabilities presentation of this is who we are and the faces behind the names, and sort of 5 minutes online can do a lot. And so we're trying to implement that as much as we can, but it's being consistent, really. I think if you ask any person that markets in any economy, it's consistency. So when I talk to our artists, I always say you can't just do one newsletter. You have to follow up. Like it has to be a
Yeah.
campaign, really. Think like a campaign. And so we do that and have done through this kind of weird year. Like last year was kind of strange in terms of advertising, and it still is a little bit wacky, but I think if you just keep keep reaching out for when the times change. So hopefully when things get really up to par where it was like a couple of years ago in the industry, they will remember that we are strong, we're fun, and we're providing excellent service if we get
Yeah.
a chance, if given a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It sounds like you guys, you have this great mix of you as the founder are part of the visionary team, and you've surrounded yourself with people who are really good at what they do. And so it makes your job a lot easier and makes the end product for your clients a lot better. That's great. Christina, this has been awesome. Where can people learn more about you, and where can people learn more about Snyder?
So Snyder is online where wearesnyder.com, just like it
Mhm.
sounds. We also have an Instagram, of course. It's like wearesnyder.com, we are Snyder underscore. And my personal Instagram is AKA underscore Kristina Snyder. And that's spelled with a K. Snyder is SNYDER. A lot of people misspell that. And then I'm on LinkedIn as well. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's where you can find me.
Great. Thank you so much for being on. This was awesome.
Thank you. Thanks so much.